Every serving of processed food you eat today raises your Alzheimer's risk by 13%. And that's coming from a peer-reviewed study published in February 2025 by the Framingham Heart Study, one of the longest-running medical research programs in American history. They tracked over 1,000 people for nearly 13 years. And what they found should be on the front page of every newspaper in the country. Eat 10 or more servings of ultra-processed food per day, and your Alzheimer's risk nearly triples. 10 servings. That's a bowl of cereal for breakfast, chips with lunch, a hot dog, a soda, some crackers, a frozen dinner. A completely normal Tuesday for millions of Americans. And right now, more than half the calories Americans consume every single day come from ultra-processed foods. Before we get into what's causing this, let's talk about what Alzheimer's actually is. A lot of people think it's just forgetting things. It's not. Alzheimer's is a brain disease where the brain slowly destroys itself. Neurons, the cells your brain uses to think, remember, feel, and function, start dying. And once they're gone, they don't come back. It starts small. You forget a name. You walk into a room and don't know why. You lose words mid-sentence. Then it gets worse. You can't recognize people you love. You lose the ability to speak, to take care of yourself, to recognize your own children. There is no cure. There is no treatment that stops it. And by the time most people are diagnosed, the damage has already been building for years, sometimes decades. Right now, over 55 million people worldwide are living with Alzheimer's or another form of dementia. That number is expected to reach 78 million by 2030 and potentially 139 million by 2050. Someone in the world develops dementia every 3 seconds. And here in America, we are feeding that number every single day with everything we put in our grocery carts. So what exactly counts as ultra-processed? Because the food industry loves to make this confusing on purpose. Scientists use a system called NOVA to classify food by how much it's been processed. Ultra-processed foods, NOVA Category 4, are not just processed. They are industrial formulations, made mostly from substances extracted from food or synthesized in a lab. They contain ingredients you would never find in a home kitchen. Emulsifiers, artificial flavors, preservatives, colorants, flavor enhancers. In real life, that looks like sugary drinks and sodas, packaged snacks, most breakfast cereals, including a lot of the ones marketed as healthy, processed meats like hot dogs and deli slices, the soft, shelf-stable bread that stays fresh for weeks, fast food, frozen dinners, sweetened yogurts, and flavored dairy products. If it has more than 5 ingredients, and most of them are unrecognizable, you're probably holding one. And researchers found that people in the highest bracket of ultra-processed food consumption had nearly double the rate of dementia compared to those in the lowest, 13.8% versus 6.7%. Here's where it gets really important, because it's not just one thing going wrong. Processed food attacks the brain through multiple pathways at the same time. Start with sugar and refined carbohydrates. The hippocampus is the part of your brain that stores and retrieves memories. It's literally where your memories live. When you eat foods loaded with refined sugar or refined carbs, your blood sugar spikes fast. Your brain gets flooded with glucose. And over time, that excess glucose causes damage to the hippocampus, impairing memory and reducing what scientists call brain plasticity, your brain's ability to make new connections and adapt. That means sodas, energy drinks, sweetened coffees, pastries, and candy, but also white bread, white pasta, white rice, and most crackers. They don't taste sweet, but your body processes them almost identically to sugar. A rapid conversion to glucose, an insulin spike, and the same slow damage building up over time. Scientists have actually started calling Alzheimer's type 3 diabetes in some research circles because of how closely impaired insulin signaling in the brain is tied to the disease's development. Then there's fried food. One study of over 18,000 people found that a diet high in fried foods was linked to lower scores in learning and memory, likely because fried foods cause inflammation that damages the blood vessels supplying the brain with blood. Your brain needs constant blood flow to survive. When those vessels are inflamed and constricted, your brain starts to starve slowly. Regularly eating fried food is one of the most consistently damaging dietary patterns for brain health. Processed meats bring their own problems. Bacon, hot dogs, salami, bologna, These contain nitrites and N-nitroso compounds that can lead to oxidative stress and inflammation in the brain. Think of oxidative stress like rust forming on metal, but inside your cells. When it happens in your brain tissue, it accelerates the formation of the toxic protein plaques directly associated with Alzheimer's. And a separate Harvard-backed study published in January 2025 found that eating just a quarter of a serving of processed red meat per day, roughly 2 slices of bacon or a single hot dog, was associated with a 13% higher risk of dementia, with cognitive aging accelerated by about 1.6 years per average daily serving. High sodium is another one. Most ultra-processed foods are loaded with it. A high-sodium diet raises blood pressure, which reduces blood flow to the brain over time. And less blood means fewer nutrients, fewer signals, and slower thinking. Many processed snack foods also contain trans fats and artificial sweeteners like aspartame, the kind found in diet sodas and zero-sugar products, which have been studied for their potential effects on brain function, with animal research linking some of these compounds to inflammation and neurotoxicity. Then there's the gut, and this one surprises most people. Your gut and your brain are directly connected through what scientists call the gut-brain axis. The trillions of bacteria living in your digestive system send constant signals to your brain through the vagus nerve. They influence your immune system, your hormones, and neurotransmitters, including serotonin and dopamine. When beneficial bacteria are wiped out by a diet of processed food, the gut can't do its job. Certain bacteria convert fiber from whole foods into anti-inflammatory compounds that have been found to improve memory in animals. When processed food replaces whole foods, you stop producing those compounds. The brain's immune cells, called microglia, become overactive, and when they can't calm down, they stop clearing out the toxic protein buildup that causes Alzheimer's. Now here's the good news. You can protect your brain, and the options are simple and accessible. Salmon and other fatty fish are loaded with omega-3 fatty acids, which reduce brain inflammation and support neuron health. The research on omega-3s and Alzheimer's prevention is some of the strongest dietary evidence we have. Blueberries are one of the most researched brain foods in existence. They're packed with flavonoids, plant compounds that cross the blood-brain barrier and directly protect neurons from oxidative damage. Studies consistently link regular blueberry consumption to better memory and slower cognitive aging. Curcumin, found in the spice turmeric, has powerful anti-inflammatory and antioxidant properties. It has been shown to improve gut barrier function and combat inflammation, working with the gut microbiome in ways that directly reduce the kind of systemic inflammation that feeds Alzheimer's. Adding a small amount to eggs, soups, or smoothies every day is an easy habit. Leafy greens like spinach, kale, and arugula are packed with folate, vitamin K, and lutein, nutrients consistently linked to slower rates of cognitive decline. Studies following people over many years found that those who ate leafy greens daily had brains functioning like someone significantly younger than their actual age. And green tea is getting serious attention in research right now. It contains a compound called EGCG, which has shown a remarkable ability to disrupt the toxic amyloid protein clusters that accumulate in the brains of Alzheimer's patients. In lab studies, EGCG actively broke apart these protein tangles rather than simply slowing their formation. The challenge researchers are working to solve is getting enough of it past the blood-brain barrier at therapeutic doses. But the science is promising enough that multiple research teams are now using EGCG as a model for developing next-generation Alzheimer's treatments. In the meantime, drinking green tea regularly is one of the simplest, lowest-risk things you can do to support your brain every single day. Beyond food, a few supplements show up consistently in the Alzheimer's prevention research. B vitamins, particularly B12 and B6, help regulate homocysteine, an amino acid that when elevated is strongly linked to brain atrophy and Alzheimer's risk. Many older adults are deficient in B12, especially those who eat less meat. Vitamin E has antioxidant properties that may help protect brain cells from oxidative damage, though clinical trial results are mixed. Getting it through food, almonds, sunflower seeds, spinach, is a safer and more consistent approach than high-dose supplementation. Ginkgo biloba has been studied extensively for memory and circulation, Results are mixed, but some research suggests modest benefit for cognitive function in older adults. And vitamin D, which the majority of Americans are deficient in, is now being heavily studied for its role in brain health. Low levels have been repeatedly linked to an increased risk of cognitive decline and Alzheimer's progression. Talk to your doctor before adding anything, but these are the names showing up consistently across the Alzheimer's prevention topic. The good news is that this is one of the most controllable risk factors there is. You don't need medication. You don't need a doctor's appointment. You need salmon instead of hot dogs, blueberries instead of chips, a cup of green tea instead of a soda. And if you want to make these changes easier, I put together a food swap ebook. It's a practical guide that walks you through the most common foods in your kitchen and shows you exactly what to replace them with. Every swap includes the recipe, the ingredients, and the macros. The link is in the description below. If this opened your eyes, share this video. Send it to someone who needs to hear it. Subscribe for more food exposés because there are a lot more products we still need to talk about. Drop a comment below and tell me what shocked you most and what you want us to investigate next.